In early 2013, guests at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles began complaining that their tap water tasted funny, had low pressure, and was coming out of the faucets a muddy, dark black.
Oh, that is absolutely disgusting. Please tell me they didn't find what I think they found.
Maintenance workers climbed to the roof and opened one of the four massive water cisterns, only to find the body of 21-year-old Canadian student Elisa Lam floating face up. She'd been missing for nearly 3 weeks.
How does a student vanish from a hotel and end up inside a sealed water tank on a restricted roof? This sounds like a horror movie setup.
It's one of the most dissected mysteries of the internet age, blending mental health struggles, a notoriously haunted hotel, and one 4-minute video clip that still gives people nightmares. To understand the end, we have to look at the beginning of Elisa's trip. She was a student from the University of British Columbia who decided to take a solo trip down the West Coast, documenting her journey on her blog, Nouvelle Nouveau.
Was she a seasoned traveler? Solo trips can be pretty intense if you aren't prepared.
She was adventurous, but her parents were worried. She had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, so she called them every single day to check in.
Until she didn't.
Exactly. On January 31st, the daily calls stopped. She was supposed to check out of the Cecil Hotel that morning, but never showed up at the front desk.
Wait, the Cecil? Why did she choose the Cecil? That place has a reputation that precedes it.
It was a budget-friendly option in downtown LA, but you're right, the Cecil is legendary for all the wrong reasons. Serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, stayed there. It was the site of countless suicides and murders since it opened in the 1920s.
So she's a vulnerable person in a building practically soaked in grim history. That's a recipe for disaster.
When Elisa vanished, the LAPD searched the building with dogs but found nothing. 2 weeks later, they released a piece of surveillance footage from an elevator that turned this missing person case into a global obsession.
I've seen this video. It's deeply unsettling even before you know the ending.
In the video, Elisa enters the elevator and presses a column of buttons, but the doors don't close. She peers out into the hallway looking frantic, then hides in the corner of the car like someone is chasing her.
The way she moves is what gets me. She starts waving her hands in these strange, fluid gestures, almost like she's casting a spell or talking to someone we can't see.
Thousands of people online watched that video and concluded she was being hunted, either by a person or something supernatural. Then on February 19th, the water pressure issues led that maintenance worker, Santiago Lopez, to the roof.
And that's where things get physically impossible for a lot of people. How did she get out there?
The roof was protected by an alarmed door. If a guest opened it, a siren should have gone off at the front desk. Even if she used the fire escape, she then had to climb a platform and scale an 8-foot-tall water tank.
Okay, but people find ways to climb things. What's the real kicker?
The lid. When the body was found, the heavy metal lid on top of the tank was closed. If Elisa jumped in by herself, how did she pull an iron lid shut behind her from the inside?
That's the detail that breaks the internet. That's why people think she was murdered, or that she was part of some elaborate cover-up.
The coroner eventually released their report in June. They ruled it an accidental drowning, stating that her bipolar disorder was a significant factor.
They think she was having a psychotic break?
Toxicology showed she had her meds in her system, but at levels suggesting she was underdosing or had stopped taking them. They believe she was experiencing a hallucination, thought she was being followed, and climbed into the tank to hide, then couldn't get back out.
But the lid, Alex. Did the coroner address the closed lid?
This is where the mystery usually survives. The maintenance worker who found her originally reported the lid was open, but then testimony became confused over time. Most official sources now say the lid was actually open when he arrived. Even with the official accident ruling, the case of Elisa Lam lives on as the ultimate web sleuth cautionary tale. People harassed a death metal musician for years because he stayed at the hotel months prior, nearly ruining his life.
It's like the internet wanted it to be a movie, so they ignored the tragic reality of a mental health crisis.
Exactly. It shows how we can take a human tragedy and turn it into a ghost story for entertainment. The Netflix docuseries in 2021 tried to put the rumors to rest, but if you go to the Cecil today, which is now affordable housing, people still gather outside to talk about her.
It's the combination of that elevator video and the hotel's dark energy. It created a perfect storm for a modern myth.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying things aren't ghosts or serial killers, but the struggles happening inside our own minds, without a support system nearby.
What's the one thing to remember about the death of Elisa Lam?
Behind the viral videos and dark legends, Elisa Lam's story is a tragic example of how a mental health crisis can become a public spectacle in the age of the internet.
That's Wikipedia. Every story on demand. Search your next topic at wikipedia.ai.